guys, I'm Minecraft with Dummies, and today I have another cow farm. This one's a slightly different design as it's more efficient and it works on a more frequent basis. Go watch my other video for the cow farm if you'd like to compare, but this is actually quite a different design, and it's a little bit bigger, but it does a few more things and it's just a bit more efficient. So as you'll immediately notice, there are two sections. This section down here is for the baby cows, and then they will obviously grow up, and then when you're ready you just cook them like so, and then their drops will fall into the hopper below, and then you can just pick them up from in here. These cows up here are effectively the feeder cows, so you simply feed them, simply breed them, and then obviously half the population will end up as baby cows, and so that's how you can work out how much drops you'll get really. When you want to put them into breeding mode, you press the button next to the wheat, and then you can see the water comes out, and then they go into this little jumping mode, which just makes it easy to breed. So if I come up here and breed them all, you just spam the right click and try and get them all to breed, and then as you can see their babies start falling down. However, this does have a little trick, because obviously some will not go down. You wait till they stop jumping up and down, and then you press this button, and then that just pushes all the baby ones into here. They may look a bit glitchy at first, but they generally sort themselves out after a few seconds. And then you obviously just wait until these turn into adults, and then you can cook them and then breed these ones again and start the process all over again. So the redstone is incredibly simple. It's not too resource intensive. It uses a couple of hoppers, but they're for good use as they're just for the double pulsar. And as you can see, all the wiring is pretty damn simple. So on to building this. These are all the items you're going to need. So a chest, a ladder, 3 hoppers, 3 buttons, a redstone torch, 6 pieces of redstone, a bucket of water, bucket of lava, 2 dispensers, a redstone comparator, sticky piston, and a sign. So to start with, we're going to create the area where the cows will sit, and they just sit up here, and by that I mean the adult cows, so the feeder cows, these ones at the top. And these just sit inside a little pen up here. And I'm going to use glass as quite a big building material, as it's just much easier to see what's going on. So they're just going to sit in here, and then from this point we can just make a too high case around it so they can't get out. Like this. Now we want to get our piston, and we're going to put that over here. And this is just for pushing the animals down over into the slot where the baby cows are going to go. So then we can just go ahead and knock this one out. So this is where the baby animals are going to fall. Now we can replace this glass block on the back wall with a dispenser and put some water in it, because that's obviously for breeding mode. And then we can go ahead and create the zone for the baby animals. So that just goes down a 2 drop, like this. And then we get a slab and put it on there, and they're actually going to sit on top of that slab as the drops can go through that and into the hopper. So now we're going to fill in glass around this one, so the animals can't escape either. So just like this. And then before we do the top one, we're just going to put in a sign over here, and that's going to stop the water going down here, because otherwise the water would get down this hole and just be a nuisance in general. Now we can replace this block, and now we're going to go down here and we're going to put another dispenser down, and this one's going to have lava in it, and that's obviously for cooking the animals. Now we're going to create the collection zone, so the chest is where the items will go, and then we're going to get our hopper, and we're going to put that there, and as I said, the drops will go through the slab and into the chest. And then you can use whatever method you like to be able to get to this chest, so you can use a stair there, or you can just put another slab where this glass block is to stop the animals getting out, but still allowing you to open the chest. So now we're going to create the button panel. We're going to come in line with this piston, and then we're just going to go like this, and then we're going to go down 2, so we've got all of them here, and then we're just going to put all the buttons on, and as you can see, this one just activates that glass block there. And then we're going to come down here, and then we're just simply going to have a redstone line running in, nice and simple, just coming straight from this button and into the dispenser. So now we've got the piston and the water dispenser. Now for the final button, we're going to come down here and put a piece of redstone here, and then we're actually going to put another block here and another piece of redstone here, and this is actually going to stop the hoppers from locking, as you'll see in a moment. Then we're going to put hoppers up here facing into each other to create the double pulsar. And this is actually why we need these two redstone here, because if we had one it would actually lock this hopper when it's working. So we need two just to stop this going this way. You can use other things to do that, such as a lever, but it's up to you how you do that. Then we're going to put a redstone torch underneath and any item in this hopper. Now we're going to put a block over here, and then we're going to take a redstone comparator, and that's going to take the signal from this second hopper along. That just goes into a block with a piece of redstone on. And then we're going to swap out this glass block for a solid block so it can activate the other dispenser. Now you can see all our buttons are functioning. The bottom ones are doing the lava blade, this one's doing the water for breeding, and the top one's just pushing them along. Now you can come over here and put a ladder over here, just so you can get up to breed, and then you can also fill in all the spaces that you like, and if you like you can put the same items along here, so they're just item frames so you can see what each of them are doing. And in the new update you'll be able to rename these items and you can actually look at them to know the function of this. But how you do that is completely up to you, and obviously the aesthetics of this are completely up to you. Then you just take your cows and take them into this top slot, and then obviously you just get them in here and breed them. And while you're breeding them to the population that you'd like, you will actually want to block this this area off here. So you want to maybe place a glass block here, otherwise obviously every time you breed them they would end up just falling down into there. So make sure when you're breeding them in there that you do that. I think that is all you need to know, guys. I hope you find a chance to build this because I think it's a really nice design. It looks quite nice and it's quite functional, to be quite honest. However, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.